Hi guys, my name's Bex and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing to you my worst books of 2018. So guys, someone who has read 85 books in the year is bound to have some books they did not like, and that is definitely true for me this year. Although I didn't have many like 1 or 2 star books in the year, there were still some big bloody disappointments, and today I'm going to discuss those with you. As with my best books of 2018, I have rounded this down to 5 specific shitty books that I would like to discuss with you, and without further ado, let's get into it. Number 5 on my list of worst reads of 2018 was A Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. And I know what you're thinking, but Bex, you loved A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. And yes, I did, but this was a whole lot different. This story follows Felicity Montague, and after having a grand adventure with Monty and Percy, she has gone to live in Edinburgh in a bakery. But after her bakery experience goes a little bit awry and Callum Doyle wants to ask for her hand in marriage, she escapes back to England and she sets off to fulfill her dreams. Her dream of becoming a doctor. But in a time period where women were not doctors, she is basically laughed out of the administration until she finds out Dr. Alexander Plath, who is an eccentric and kind of frowned upon doctor, is looking for research assistants. So Felicity goes to Stuttgart to find him, and luckily a mysterious donor has offered to pay her way. So this story goes from there. It's an adventure story following Felicity, but this story kind of followed the same path as The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue did, so it was nothing new and nothing special about it. Felicity, as a main character, I hate more than I hate Lila Bard, and that's saying something because I don't like Lila Bard. Felicity was an irritating character. She was always so arrogant, but in a whiny way, and then didn't understand how she got herself into certain situations. The audiobook didn't help because the voice of the narrator on the audiobook was a bit painful as well, so it made her whinier than I thought. The characters that were the most interesting characters were side characters and we didn't get to see much of them, and we just followed Felicity across Europe again, whinging, and I just was not up for this. I really wanted to love this one, but unfortunately The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy kind of ruined the Montague siblings duology. Moving on, number 4 on my worst reads is Dark Horses by Cecily von Zegazar. Whew, this was an interesting read, that is for sure. It's basically about a psychopath horse. And I know what you're thinking, that's a weird premise, and yeah, it really is. It follows a girl named Merritt who has been self-destructing. She has walked out of her SATs, got drunk, and just ended up in a really bad place. Her parents, not knowing what to do with her, sent her off to an equine-assisted rehab facility, and that's where she meets her horse, Red. Red doesn't like people. Red honestly only wants to be loved, however, he does it in such a psychotic way. We get the viewpoint of Merritt and of Red, and it was the weirdest viewpoint that I've ever read in my life. He kind of makes like pop culture references and like song references, and it's strange because you are a horse. The horse is psychopathic and has this weird obsession with Merritt and will honestly kill for Merritt's attention, which is really strange. And it's kind of the only word I've got to describe this book. Very strange. Moving on to my 3rd most disappointing read of 2018, and that is the one you've been waiting for. It's All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. This was like my first read of 2018, and I've been holding off getting rid of this one because I wanted to talk to it in my worst books of 2018. As you may know, I love Maggie Stiefvater's work. I love The Raven Cycle, and then I picked up All the Crooked Saints. It was one of my highly anticipated reads of last year, and I read it and I was like, what the fuck was that? This book follows the Soroya family who live in Colorado, and they kind of deal in miracles. What everyone wants is a miracle, but unfortunately the price for a miracle is really high. And I don't really know how to explain the synopsis more than that. It follows 3 of the Soroya cousins, and the lyrical writing tried to hide the fact that the plot was shit and it made no sense. I had zero connection to any of the characters. There was no plot. Like the magic system-y sort of thing that was working did not make sense. All the Crooked Saints had a really intriguing concept. It had miracles, owls, and forbidden love, and it just left me underwhelmed, if I'm honest. I saw through Maggie's writing to a plot that wasn't very good and characters that were not built up enough, and it just was not a good read, unfortunately. Number 2 on my worst books of 2018 is one of the Quarterly Club picks, and that is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. This is a story about a young girl who is married off in Amsterdam to begin her life as a wife. But the family dynamic in this is really, really strange. Johan is distant and is never at the house, so to keep her preoccupied, he buys her a miniature house. So she goes and finds a miniaturist in Amsterdam to kind of put some things in the house, but the things that get put in the house start happening and more things arrive and things go a little bit askew. It's really, really weird. I think it's supposed to be magical realism, but it was really, really strange. Although the miniaturist was haunting and mysterious, the first half of the book dragged really, really slowly and the ending was underwhelming. I felt like half of the actions also that occurred in this story didn't serve a purpose and they were just happening for the sake of it. I feel like it was atmospheric enough. I feel like if one has been to Amsterdam, they would really, really love the way it's written and the places that are described, but I haven't been to Amsterdam and I did not like this at all. And last but not least, my number 1 worst book of 2018 is another Quarterly Club pick. Like, why are we so bad at picking books? I have no idea. But it was Godblind by Anna Stevens. I actually didn't finish this one. This was a 1-star DNF because I couldn't even. I think I got until like 40 pages into the book and there were like 6 to 8 perspectives, and that's just too much. I couldn't connect to the characters because there were too many characters that were changing perspectives when we didn't even know them. It surrounds the Mercies who worship the bloodthirsty Red God. They were exiled from Rilpor 1,000 years ago and they are ready to take their rightful place back in Rilpor. With Rilpor's powerful people turning to the Dark Red God, it kind of gets strange and I couldn't even tell you what happened because I didn't finish it. I think I got halfway. I think I got 50% of the way and was like, this is awful. The writing was okay, but like when you're setting up with that many characters and that many point of views, the reader just gets confused, and I was thoroughly confused through this. It was dark and Game of Thronesy. It was very bloody and brutally, and there's a torture scene in here that is, it is interesting, but this book honestly meant nothing to me. This is my worst read of 2018. And that is it for me today, guys. Those are my top 5 worst reads of 2018. With the good always comes the bad, and those for me were... they're the worst. I did not like any of them at all. It happened, we acknowledged it. Now let's move into 2019 with a fresh slate. But that is it for me today, guys. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more and have not already, and chat to me down in the comments. Let me know your worst read of 2018. I would love to hear. That's it for me today, guys. I make videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you in a new one. Bye!